Welcome back to 15 Lanes Talk Game Week 22 Preview Show. We are going to talk about all the games that are happening all over the weekend, as Chelsea will be taking on Brentford at the Bridge. Liverpool will be taking on Burnley at the Anfield. Arsenal will be traveling to City Ground to face Nottingham Forest. And the big one, the Manchester Derby, as Manchester United will be traveling to the Etihad Stadium. Let's go! Chelsea versus Brentford in a London derby. Chelsea are going into this game hoping to bounce back to their winning ways, as they have been struggling of late in the Premier League. This will be Rossania's first game as a Chelsea manager in the Premier League. We know he has already taken charge of 2 games as a Chelsea new manager, whereby he won 1 game against Charlton 5-1 comfortably, and in the midweek he lost to Arsenal 3-2. This week they will be taking on Brighton in game week 22. Some of the biggest talking points in this game. We know Chelsea in the last 8 meetings with Brentford, they have just only won once. You understand? Which means the odds are not in their favor. But will Rossania, the new manager, change this in Chelsea's favor? Because we have seen also, if you go and see Chelsea start in the Premier League right now, they have like 1 win in the last 6 games. You understand? They have been struggling seriously. Injury updates coming from Chelsea. As we saw against Arsenal, Cole Palmer and Reece James were out with injuries, and they never featured in that Carabao fixture, as Chelsea was beaten by Arsenal 3-2. But they are still doubtful for this Brentford game. So we are hoping to see if they will make it. They will be in the lineup to face Brentford. Chelsea's fragile defense will be taking on Igor Thiago. The man who is on form right now in the Premier League. He has scored 16 goals, the highest scoring Brazilian in the Premier League. How is Chelsea's defense going to handle Igor Thiago? Liverpool versus Burnley. Liverpool will be taking on Burnley at the Anfield. And remember, Liverpool are still unbeaten in their last 10 games in the Premier League. You understand? Their last game they faced Arsenal and they made a draw. So they are taking on relegation battle Burnley. Are they going to bounce back to their winning ways? You understand? But some of the biggest talking points going into this game, on the other hand, of Liverpool. We all know Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 10 games. You understand? But they have 1 win in their last 5 games. You understand? So is Liverpool going to get back to their winning ways? You understand? And as Ekitike came back from injury, as he missed that Arsenal match, you understand? And he featured in the FA fixture against Barnsley, and he also scored, you understand? Which was a very, very positive thing as they are heading into this Burnley game. And a huge boost for Liverpool as Mohamed Salah is back from AFCON. We don't know if Mohamed Salah is going to feature in this game against Burnley. Will he be on bench, or will he start, or he's going to be rested for the Champions League fixture? Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. Arsenal travel to the City Ground to take on Nottingham Forest, hoping to extend their lead on the top of the table as they dropped points against Liverpool last week. You understand? This game with high hopes of bouncing back to their winning ways. Some of the biggest talking points in this game. Nottingham Forest this season have struggled a lot at defending set pieces. They have conceded 13 set pieces goal, and they will be facing the kings of set pieces in the league this season, who have already scored 14 goals out of set pieces this season in the Premier League. So this game is not going to be easy at all for Nottingham Forest. We already know where Arsenal may get their goals. You understand? Since Nottingham Forest struggle a lot at defending set pieces. A huge boost for Nottingham Forest going into this game, as Will Bolly and Sarangay are back from AFCON. These players going to be very important in this game for Nottingham Forest to see that Sean Dyche gets some points away from this fixture. You understand? Because Nottingham Forest right now at the moment they are in the relegation battle, struggling to see that they survive, struggling to see that they stay in the Premier League. On the other hand of Arsenal, Havertz was back from injury. We saw him He has already got some minutes as he came on against Portsmouth and also in midweek as he came on against Chelsea. That's a very, very huge boost for Arsenal. And Victor Gyökeres in midweek got back on the score sheet for Arsenal. You understand? That goal against Chelsea going to boost his confidence going into the Nottingham Forest game. Is that goal against Chelsea going to boost his confidence until the end of the season, since Havertz is back and Jesus is back? So there's going to be a lot of healthy competition in the Arsenal squad. Manchester City versus Manchester United. Manchester City will be welcoming Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium in the Manchester Derby. You understand? Some of the biggest talking points in this game. We all know both teams are hoping to bounce back to their winning ways as they have dropped points in back-to-back games. You understand? Manchester City have a new star on the block, Anthony Semenyo, who they signed from Bournemouth. He has featured in Manchester City's 2 games in FA and Carabao Cup. He scored in the FA when they're taking on Exeter and also against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup in midweek. He has now 2 goals and 1 assist in 2 games for Manchester City. That's a very, very huge boost for Manchester City going into this Manchester derby. But on the other hand of Manchester United, Amad Diallo and Bryan Mbeumo came back from the AFCON. This is a very, very huge boost for Manchester United and Darren Fletcher, as they are going to give Manchester United a lifeline. And also, since Manchester United went back, since Manchester United changed their formation to a back four, which means we are going to see Amad Diallo playing on the left wing. And are we going to see Bryan Mbeumo playing as the striker? Is Darren Fletcher going to drop? Is Darren Fletcher going to drop Sesko for Bryan Mbeumo in that position? We are going to wait and see what happened in that fixture. Pressure on the side of Manchester City. We all know Manchester City dropped points against Brentford, and Arsenal never capitalized that when they played against Liverpool. So I don't think Manchester City will drop points in this game, since there is a lot of pressure and a lot at stake at the moment. You understand? If they win this game, they will be 3 points behind Arsenal. Michael Carrick, this week we have had news a lot about Michael Carrick to be the new Manchester United head coach. Are we going to see him in the stand at the Etihad Stadium, as Darren Fletcher will be coaching Manchester United? Maybe it will be Darren Fletcher last game as a Manchester United coach. Let's talk about Phil Foden, who has enjoyed this fixture a lot. He has scored 7 goals in their last 7 meetings against Manchester United. Is he going to be the reason Manchester City get points in this fixture, or is he going to be quiet? Let's wait and see.